The United States is strengthening its naval presence in the Western Pacific in response to tensions that have arisen with the presidential leadership transition and Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te's visit to the U.S. China has been conducting military exercises in reaction to the intensifying diplomatic ties between the U.S. and Taiwan, which previously came under fire from the U.S. To counter potential threats, the U.S. Navy has deployed 3 Nimitz-class aircraft carriers to the region. These ships operate under the Advanced Air Wing concept, which is the newest component of the U.S. Navy's Air Wing for the 2030s, also known as the Air Wing of the Future. Each carrier is equipped with F-35 Sea Lightning II fighters, newly delivered CMV-22B Ospreys, refurbished E-2D Hawkeyes, and AN/ALQ-249 next-generation jammer mid-band electronic warfare pods for EA-18G Growler aircraft. Previously, this composition has been used in the Rim of the Pacific 2024, RIMPAC 2024 exercise. Earlier this month, USS Abraham Lincoln, CVN-72, departed the CENTCOM region and 5th Fleet Area of Responsibility to continue her duties in the Western Pacific. This left 7th Fleet without an aircraft carrier for the first time since 2001. Lincoln, which has been on deployment for 4.5 months, is expected to remain in the Western Pacific until late January. On November 27th, Lincoln departed Port Klang, Malaysia, after a scheduled port stop, and is now operating in the South China Sea with 3 escort ships and 1 oil carrier, USS Spruance, DDG-111, USS Michael Murphy, DDG-112, USS Frank E. Peterson, Jr., DDG-121, and the oil carrier USNS Rappahannock, TAO-204. Meanwhile, USS Carl Vinson, CVN-71, departed San Diego on November 18th for an unannounced deployment to the 7th Fleet Area of Responsibility. The cruiser USS Princeton CG-59 also departed San Diego on the same day to accompany Vinson as an escort. In addition, USS Sterett, DDG-104, and USS William P. Lawrence, DDG-110, have completed loading ammunition to support this mission. Carrier Air Wing 2, CVW-2, under the command of Carl Vinson, became the first operator to employ AIM-174B ALC, a highly advanced long-range air-to-air missile, which has also been deployed by the U.S. Navy. CVW-2 is known as the most technologically advanced air wing in the U.S. Navy today. USS George Washington, CVN-73, recently completed a home port transfer to Yokosuka, Japan, after undergoing maintenance and repairs in Newport News, Virginia. Destroyers USS Higgins, DDG-76, and USS McCampbell, DDG-85, joined George Washington en route to Japan. With this transfer, USS George Washington replaced USS Ronald Reagan, CVN-75, in the 7th Fleet. All 3 aircraft carriers, USS Abraham Lincoln, USS Carl Vinson, and USS George Washington, now operate in the Pacific with state-of-the-art technology, including 5th-generation fighters and the latest weapon systems, in an effort to keep the region stable. These 3 carriers, along with the U.S. military's technology-leading Air Wing, continue to conduct routine operations in the Pacific region, both in the 7th Fleet and 3rd Fleet areas of responsibility. Their presence is not only a symbol of strength, but also a strategic move to maintain the balance of power in an increasingly complex region, especially as China continues to strengthen its influence in the South China Sea and beyond. These routine operations involve various joint exercises with allied countries in the region, strengthening military cooperation and combat readiness. The advanced air power carried by these carriers provides great flexibility and strike power, making them an essential element in maintaining freedom of navigation and responding to any potential threats. In addition, the growing number of F-35 Sea Lightning II operations deployed in the region represents an important step in the modernization of U.S. combat power, providing a tactical advantage in the face of dynamic situations in the Indo-Pacific region. With integrated reconnaissance aircraft technology, electronic warfare, and air defense systems, the U.S. Navy can respond to threats with great speed and efficiency. The transfer of USS George Washington's home port to Yokosuka, Japan, also strengthens the U.S. commitment to its allies in the region, particularly Japan. By joining the carrier to the 7th Fleet, the U.S. is ensuring a stable military presence in East Asia, which is especially important given the growing tensions in the region, including tensions with China over Taiwan and the South China Sea. Moreover, the presence of 3 Nimitz-class aircraft carriers armed with advanced systems and aircraft also signals the high readiness of the U.S. Navy to deal with more complex scenarios in the region. In the long run, this reinforcement is not only to maintain a balance of power with China, but also to ensure freedom of navigation in key shipping lanes that are critical to global trade. In recent years, the South China Sea has become one of the major international flashpoints, where overlapping territorial claims between several countries, including China, Malaysia, and the Philippines, often spark conflict. The presence of a U.S. aircraft carrier in the region can act as a counterweight, ensuring that countries with legitimate claims to these waters can access them unimpeded. Going forward, the U.S. Navy is expected to continue to deploy and rotate these aircraft carriers in the Pacific region to maintain stability in an increasingly complex region. Operating 5th-generation fighters, such as the F-35C on aircraft carriers, also opens up new opportunities in terms of mobility and airstrike power, further emphasizing U.S. military dominance in the Pacific region. Overall, the presence of these 3 aircraft carriers reflects the U.S.'s determination to maintain influence and stability in the Indo-Pacific region, while continuing to strengthen cooperation with allies and update technology and operational strategies to meet increasingly diverse challenges.